So Peter and J-Man from Oceanlord. Welcome to Nightbreed. How you guys doing?
Thanks, Ben. Doing pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. So before we get to what's going on now, I'd like to know the origin story of Oceanlord. How'd you first sort of get together and start this thing?
Yeah. I mean, right back at the beginning, I moved to Melbourne from Sydney, and I moved next to Jason. Well, a couple of houses away in a little cul-de-sac. So I got to know him then. But musically, things really kicked off for us. We were at a pub singing a couple of bands and together. And I think it was Horse Hunter, Beast Wars, Dr. Colossus.
Okay, I love that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at really early for Dr. Colossus, they were opening, weren't very well known at the time. And we were just sort of sipping a beer, waiting for the real action to happen. While the starter bands kind of kick off. And as soon as Dr. Colossus played their first note, we were just blown away. And after they played,
before they played the first note, I had hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that night. I looked at Jason and said, "Man, we've got to play something like this. We've got to do this sludgy doom."
Yeah,
yeah.
And he had me at sludgy.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, that's cool. Peter, I read that you were in isolation for 262 days over the last, little while. And you built a home studio in that time. Is that what we're looking at behind you?
Yeah. This is the spot.
Oh, looks
I can give you the little kind of virtual tour.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, nice. Cool.
So from an outside perspective, Pete did all the work himself. It's to give some sort of concept of how amazing this room is. I could live in it. It's that good. It's livable quite well. And the sound is phenomenal. We go loud at practice, at rehearsal, and never has a neighbor complained or it's amazing. It's really good work.
Yeah, that was one of the main things. Just wanting to have the freedom to belt it out as loud as we can, and not have to worry about complaints or I got little kids, and so you don't want to wake them up in the middle of the night just because you're having a jam. And went better than we thought. We ended up recording our whole album in here.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. That's crazy. So, that's a great sound in there.
Yeah.
So, if it's all right, I wouldn't mind getting a little techie with you. Like, what kind of gear? What kind of gear are you running? Like, what's your software and hardware look like?
Yeah. So, recording wise, I'm using a Focusrite 1820 with a Behringer kind of ADAT interface for some extra inputs. And then mics, we've got a lot of the kind of standard, SM57s, and whatever that flat one is you chuck in front of an amp.
Oh yeah,
from Sennheiser. These guys.
Yeah.
So we kind of got the bog standard classics, but I also borrowed a mate's Austrian audio OC 818 or something for vocals, and that went really well. Yeah, Jason's laughing because I borrowed this mic, and it's his pride and joy, and it was a beautiful mic. It worked great for the vocals.
Yeah.
And he'd helped me record vocals, and he left because I needed to do a couple more tracks, and sort of just did that by myself. The very last day of recording, while I was turning around, with my guitar, the headphones on, and all the rest of it, I just feel something bump against my butt. And I hear this crash behind me, look around in horror as his microphone had been on the stand and just plowed into the ground, and put a nice little dent in the side. And anyway, so that's the story of how I bought my mate's really nice microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
But never justified actually buying one. But buying a broken it wasn't broken, it works fine, but a dented secondhand one, I get that.
A little dent in the mesh.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like I've got to buy it now.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind next time I borrow something I want off of me. That's good. Yeah. And what about the screen you got behind the drums there? Is that like aluminium or something? What is that?
No, they're
Yeah,
doors.
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. There you
This is
go.
a mix of a couple of different people's genius here. So I think Jace like helped kind of screw them all together. So it's 5 doors
Hmm.
that are all hinged together.
Yep. Okay.
And then they're anchored at just one
Free,
point
yeah,
and have like
freestanding.
some little
Yeah.
wheels down the end.
Mm.
And then my wife painted a mural across all of them.
Yeah, it's cool. No, it looks really good, man.
We
So
were before Pete moved into there, we were share housing basically my family downstairs, Pete's family upstairs in this huge mini, McMansion type thing. And so we were starting all this in the garage, literally in a 2-car garage. So we built that as a bit of a petition, to sort of petition things off a bit. And then when Pete obviously built this, it's like, yeah, that's got to go there, and stuff goes behind it for storage. So
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
neat, but it's also a bit of a barrier as well. But yeah, it's awesome. I actually stand just off to the side there facing the drum kit and that mural when we rehearse, and I love it. It's great artwork.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome, man. And so we talked about recording. That sounds great, but what about the songwriting? Like, does someone come in and say, "Yep, these are the riffs," or are you kind of, meshing things together a bit?
little bit of both. So most of the songs on this album started off with kind of me writing bits and pieces, and then Jason and I'd spend hours in the garage at the house, especially when we lived together, just sort of jamming on stuff. And riffs they'd get better, we change it again, it'd get worse, we change it again, it'd go somewhere different.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when we thought we really had something going on, we'd bring it to John at the rehearsal and sort of start to put together the song. So so I'd say mostly written by me, but really it's come together under the work of all three of us.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. And a couple of singles, off the release. 2340, 2340,
Yeah, you
however
got it.
we announced.
You got it.
2340.
You got it right.
2340,
Well
there
done.
we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you got the video for that one. Is that AI animation or something? Is that sort of has that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you feed into it? It's like Titanic and a Cthulhu or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, those words
Yeah.
were definitely in the brief.
Okay, cool.
So we worked with a guy who's got quite a lot of experience making videos, but had started working in this AI space as well, which I think was.
Let's give him a shout out. His name is We Plants on Fiverr, and yeah, definitely a guy to hook up with and get some good quality work done.
Cool.
So what I did is I gave him like an annotated timeline of the song with lyrics, exactly kind of when in the song those lyrics occur, and then some kind of ideas of the sorts of things we'd like to see in the different sections of the song. And then what he did is, I don't know if you've ever played with the AI image generation, but you kind of feed it a bit of a sentence and it makes something.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of give it more information or less information. And it's good at some things and it's terrible at other things.
Yeah.
So like, for example, we thought like having people falling off a boat into water would be really sick. Didn't look good. AI just couldn't do it.
No.
But I think something that turned out really, really well is that it's a combination of the AI generating a bunch of images and also him kind of splicing together sequences. And I think having him think about the pacing and the change of audio really helped that sync up. Because I think like naively approaching, just throw some text at a video generator and have it make you 8 minutes of video, you'll end up with something that doesn't have a lot of kind of coherence in its ideas. So yeah, we're really happy with the way that he managed to kind of pull something that still felt like it had a story out of the process.
Yeah, cool. So did he do the Come Home video as well? Was that a different?
No, they're all quite different. So the Come Home video, we produced it ourselves.
Oh, cool.
And we had a mate, Sam Young, who's a great videographer. Sort of I think he does that sort of stuff as a day job, doing sort of ads and real estate filming and photography. But yeah, so he came in and filmed in a space that John, our drummer, his friend ran this beautiful art space called The Establishment that does photo shoots. So we sort of snuck in between sessions of photo shoots and used their space and sort of set up the story, filmed it all. And then, you know, I had the stupid idea of, I guess I'll just learn video editing and do all the editing myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, like 100 years later, well, 100 hours later, I'm happy with the result, but it was a lot of learning.
Yeah, for sure.
it was really quite an experience. We actually filmed the whole thing in one day. And we were amateur smart about it. We had someone who was directing. We had someone that was actually in our clip for Kingdom, Bridget, who plays the woman. She was actually the director on Come Home. So
cool. Okay.
She was directing, timekeeping, making sure everything was just happening at the right time, while Pete was directing the art side of things, and we're having little bits of bits and pieces happening. But it was a really tight. We thought it was a really tight day. We got all the footage we needed in a day, and then Pete spent all that time editing and all the rest of it, and it came out beautifully. When we went to do Kingdom, which is the third single, we actually went to a director and a filmographer. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so.
And they were like, well, we're going to film it all in one day and then we'll edit it and stuff like that. And we're thinking, great, it's going to be the same as Come Home. No, they did it in 6 hours. Like, we were just blown away when going from amateurs having a shot to professionals being able to gather everything they needed in a 6 hour. And we had lunch in there too somewhere. So
yeah.
You know, and it was just amazing just to see. I mean, we did a good job. I'm not saying, you know, we did, but to then see professionals just hit their mark every time and know exactly what they're doing and all the rest of it was amazing. It was really cool.
Yeah, awesome, man.
It's great. Sorry, it's great to work with people with interesting ideas. So a really cool idea that they have that I think maybe in hindsight was as much a time-saving idea as it was like a good visual effect idea. All of the band shots were filmed at double the speed.
So you get a bit more,
So I exported a version of the song that was playing at double time. And so like every time we're playing to this like double sped chipmunk super fast thing. So we're like strumming frantically and trying to keep up, which meant that all of the filming for that, you know, happened twice as quickly. And then gives this really interesting effect where everything looks kind of weird and weighty.
Powerful. Powerful.
That's really cool.
It's so funny to hear Kingdom at double speed. Like, and by the end of that time, we're actually sitting there going, man, this is a bit poppy.
It's not a bad thrash song, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not going to play it at that speed.
No. And so the album artwork, was that your partner that painted that one as well? The lighthouse thing? Yeah. That's really cool. Like, yeah, it's a great cover. I guess so. Away from you guys for a little bit, what have you been listening to lately? What kind of stuff are you getting into?
Ooh, yeah.
I can tell you, I'm actually going back in time. I'm a child of, well, I was born in the 70s, so I'm a bit older. And I fell heavily into grunge in the 90s and that sort of thing. So I've actually been going back and re-listening to a lot of that stuff in that time that I really love. But I'm also picking up the gaps of the stuff where I went at the time, I was like, meh. And I'm back listening to that now and going, oh, wow, shit, that's actually really good. And just trying to reacclimatize myself to that block of time and pick up the gaps. And it's strangely kind of cool. But of course I'm, you know, my record, well, I'm working, I've got the records going and, you know, Monolord is always there. Dr. Colossus is there. I can't think of what most recently I bought. Actually, Mad Season was the last album I bought, which is a way back one again. Yeah. That's been my current, like at the moment, the last few weeks. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Can I ask, out of you're saying you had gaps, what are some of the bands that, you know, you've only recently got into out of the grunge thing?
Oh, it wasn't so much gaps of bands. It was more, when you're young and you kind of, your brain's in one direction. And you hear a song and you're like, man, that's fantastic. Next song, no, that's terrible. I'm going back and listening to those ones again and going, hang on a minute, as a more mature man now, how do I perceive those songs now? And I'm actually picking up a lot of stuff. Like even just drifting out of the grunge sort of stuff, even drifting back into things like Placebo.
Sure,
it's not grunge, but it's out there sort of thing. And especially at the time, I didn't pay much attention to it, but now I'm sort of back again and going, wow, yeah, actually there's some great shit in there that just hooks nicely. And the world's changed dramatically for me too, because like I was in a shopping center the other day and I was walking around and I stopped to actually listen to what was being played on the stereo in the shopping center, and it was Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah.
Now I was there when it came out.
That's crazy.
And
yeah, I know.
You could not play that in public.
No.
Back in 87,
Yeah.
So I'm with that in mind. I've sort of been going back and going, well, what else is there that I can dig up? There's a lot of, in the grunge aspect, some of the Melvin stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the Melvin stuff, I like some particular songs I loved at the time. Others I was like, oh shit. Now I'm going back and listening and going, wow, that is actually a really good track. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
But Pete's got a whole different direction of what he's into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few different things at the moment. I think just in the corner, just over this shoulder, I've got a Windhand reissue that's been getting a bit of airtime. But also been listening to, there's a couple of local bands that have been really, really great. Mammon's Throne, a Melbourne band, have just put out just a great Death Doom album that's been getting a lot of time from me. Mother Slug have put another album out, and they're just fantastic. I love the way that goes. But also Howling Giant, another Magnetic Eye band, who I discovered through kind of looking through their catalog. Now that we've been working with them, and I've really, really got into that. I have a real soft spot for a bit of black metal. See that Emperor shirt?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I saw them a couple of years ago in Melbourne, and I love when people blend that in, because it's I don't know, I think it just adds a spice that you don't find very often. So yeah, it's been interesting exploring their catalog and seeing the cool stuff they're doing has been great. And Hangman's Chair is another one I found just recently. You know, when you hear a band, you just can't believe you haven't been listening to them for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Talking about Magnetic Eye, how did you guys get together with that label?
Yeah, we're really, really excited to be working with Chad and Magnetic Eye. We so we finished the album, we got back the mix and the master, and then we sort of started who can we talk to? And so we sort of made the short list of, here's the ideal, I think, people that we'd want to work with, that we think could kind of support the vision that we're doing and would add a lot of value to what we're doing. And Magnetic Eye was high on that list. So we shot it off to them and gave them a bit of a blurb of what we were doing and what we were hoping to achieve. And very happy that they got back to us and were keen to put something together.
Yeah, that's cool. And obviously you got the big release. What are the you got any more plans around that? Any videos up your sleeve or shows, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there's a few shows. We don't have any more videos coming yet, but I'm sure the creative juices are going to fly. So shows that are coming up is we're very excited. We're playing with DeVille from Sweden on the 16th of next month. So that's going to be like our Melbourne release show.
Cool.
So that's going to be great. And they're playing with a band called Child, who are also just a fantastic kind of psychedelic rock, hard rock, kind of 70s loving great band. So yeah, that's going to be a really, really exciting gig to kick things off. And then the week after that, we've got this festival called Doom in June. So we played that festival last year. and just really enjoyed it. And this year I'm helping Jay Stark run the festival. So he's put a lot of the kind of lineup together, and I've discovered a bit of a passion for lighting and stage organization. So I'll be running lighting for the night.
Yeah,
making sure we get a really cool atmosphere going for the festival. So those are the main shows. Then on the 22nd of July, we're playing in Canberra at a festival called Hard Out, which is going to be really cool. But we need to wait. I think it's 5 more days before we talk about who's headlining the festival. It's irritating, but you know, got to keep it under wraps a little longer.
Yeah, no stress, man. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, look, Jason, Peter, thanks heaps for your time. I dig the sound, and hopefully you guys can make it over here to WA at some point.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Can't wait.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to see DeVille too. They're making their way here, which is exciting. But yeah,
fantastic.
Well, our drummer John, he's from WA, so any excuse to get over and play, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to head back over and see some people.
No, fantastic.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be there in September. Maybe we can organise John to have a trip, and we'll just got to get you over, Jace.
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, lock it in September. All right. Cool. All right. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Cheers, man. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
Yeah.